Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Factorio with yours truly, Inzainia. Today we are going to, well, this episode, we are going to actually cover the robots that we were going to discuss in the last one. I changed my mind. I didn't expand this out the rest of the way because it's irrelevant right now. I wanted to go ahead and get on with the robots, so I will do that sometime later. As you can see, I didn't put one over there because I didn't finish it because I got to wait on some of these things to dry up, like these. And we need to also get back over here to this iron deposit and start harvesting it because, as you can see, we're actually starting to run out of iron over here. But let's get right back with the fun. All right, so if you walk up to one of these roboports that we placed in the last episode and you right-click on it, it opens up all of this. So what is all that? Well, what all of that is that's where your robots go. So you take your robots, we're going to use logistic robots, or well, we'll do half and half. We'll do a stack of these, and then a stack of these. And then they're in there. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that each of these is set up for a particular network. And no, they're not. That's per hub. Yeah, I guess it is. Okay, so what we got to do is we take and put some of them in here for right now. Now you can also take and set up the chest system and use a provider chest, which is this. Now let's go over the chests. First things first. All right, you've got provider, storage, and then requester chests. What the three of these do is the following. Provider chests are where you dump materials out into, and they are provided to other processes of your logic system. So like these guys, if I was to put a chest here for these to output into a chest instead of output on the ground, and I just realized that's messed up. The things you notice. So if I was to put a chest there, I would want to put a provider chest there, because then it would dump into the provider chest until, you know, robots came and picked it up out of the provider chest. And they will pick it up out of the provider chest and take it and put it in a storage chest if there is no call or demand for that item. So then you would, that basically is what storage chests are. Storage chests is the final output for your items. Things will put them there, your robots will put them there and leave them there until they're needed. When they're needed, they will also take them from the storage chest. So you do not have to only use provider chests. They will come and get stuff out of storage as machines and other things need them also. Requester chests are what you put outside of a factory or something that you're building with, and like for here. So for like, we'll do that actually. Let's go ahead and make one. Here, we'll make one and we'll put it outside this guy. All right, so we'll put a requester chest there, and then we'll take and we'll use a blue inserter to do that. And then we'll take the requester chest, and it brings up this requester chest and then your logistics system. This is what the contents of the chest are right now, which is nothing. If you click here and go into your logistics system, what happens is it brings up all of your normal construction window, your normal, you know, crafting window. So what we want to find is we want to find the repair modules, the repair packs, because we want to keep repair packs in here. And then we'll put about 50. All right. Now what that's doing is that's saying, hey, I need 50 of these health modules put in here. When it has 50 in here, the robots will stop being sent to do it. Why are the robots not leaving this to go find them? Well, because there are none in storage right now. They're all up here in this regular chest. So what we've got to do is come up here to the top, and we've got to set down a provider chest or a requester chest or a storage chest or however you want to do it, and right here, and we'll replace that with one of these red chests, a provider chest. So if we put a provider chest there, now we ought to start seeing some robots take off, unless we're screwed up, which I don't think we are. I think everything's tied in, and I'm still not seeing robots. Where are the robots? Now, do I need to connect that? That's the only question that I've got. Why are you guys? Let's set them. Oh, no, they're gone. Yeah, they're gone. Where the heck are they? I didn't see them. Did I pick them up? No. I got 18 in my inventory, but where are they at? I think I walked right past them and just didn't see them. They had to go all the way to the top, though, to get it. And after looking at how far these guys have to go, well, where are the things? I don't know. Let's put 18 more in there and see what happens. All right, there they all go. So it's working. They're just very slow right now because I haven't researched any of the logistic speed and whatnot. There they go. There they go. So they are doing their stuff. I don't know where they're going now. Oh, they're going back to these other ones to recharge. So they'll go there and recharge. They'll stop, hit one to the closest one to recharge, and then continue on with the mission. Now, right now, these guys are all very weak. You know, they're very low as far as ability-wise and whatnot because I haven't increased any of them. And you do it all in the research. In the research here, you'll see where are they at? Logistics, robots. There it is right here. Logistic speed. Now you can boost this up and up and up and up and up, and then they'll move really quick. And you can do this. They'll be able to carry more items per go. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on and on and on. What this does is this adds additional logistic slots to you. So if I hit E, I don't have any. But if I go into T and I research this, what it will do is, I'll do that in fact. It will add one of them logistic things to my, like here, well, right here, it'll add one of these windows to my character screen. It'll be character, that, and then my crafting stuff. And what that'll let me do is I can click on that and I can say, all right, bring me 5 of these. And if I've got 5 of them in storage, they'll bring 5 of them to me. So right now, as you can see, they're dreadfully slow. This is very slow. It's really, really bad. But you do what you can do. So let's see, that guy's got all them. We got none in there, so he's piling them in here. So they're just going to keep bringing them until he fills this up. So I'm thinking it might actually be smarter to do these in networks. You know what I'm saying? To do a small network of them. Instead of having them all tied together, I mean, you could tie them all together, but do like a grid all the way around your wall. And then, you know, leave a gap in between them, like every 2 or 3 of these, leave them broke off. So basically make these guys, you know, have one here, have one in here, or even this one would be okay, but I'd have to bring it down some. But putting it down like here, put one here, and then put one up here or over here somewhere so that it covers each turret. You'd have one for each turret. And then you'd only have to put like 10 robots in it to repair. And then put 10 in this one to repair, and put 10 in that one to repair, and then have each one of them set up. Yeah, that's probably what I'll end up doing off camera, is, you know, later. I'm not really going to get too deep into it, but I think that would be a better idea than trying to have the entire base covered. Although then I might leave all of the inside part of this covered, you know, overlapping into this, into the outer wall, because you want the outer wall covered and you want this covered. That way they'll go and repair the stuff, because they only have like 5 minutes or so, or however long, to go repair a broken item before the ghost of it disappears and you have to completely rebuild it. So that's that. And that's what logistic robots do, is what you're seeing. So let's go up and we will make a, let's see, I don't know. We will make, I want to do a logistic system, but I need somewhere to store stuff. Where am I going to put my storage at? I guess I can put my storage right here. So let's go up and we'll start our storage. And you'll see what I've been talking about all this time. Now, is that all covered? Is this area? Yeah, this area will be covered. So let's go ahead and we're going to create, well, we can only make 9. We need some more smart chests, which we need electronic circuits for. I want to create about 16, or at least 15. Well, we'll do 4 rows of 4, so that'll be 16. And we'll just start picking this up.
Research complete.
All right, now I've got mine, so let's start working on their speed. Get these guys faster, get them kind of capped out. See, I've got 1 row of logistic. Now I can research it again and it'll give me another row. And again, it'll give you another row. Just for, you know, so you know. All right, so there we go. Anywhere in here is fine. So what we're going to do, 5, I've got 5, 10, 15, 16. And we'll just make them. And we'll start laying them down, and I'll show you. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. Well, we got to wait. Now here's how I do these. A lot of people do them differently, and that's fine. But as it stands right now, the majority of my output is way up top there, where these lines run in. So I'm going to do it a certain way. All right, and then we need, actually I need one of them big power poles, and I don't have them yet. So what are we learning? Logistic robot speed. After we learn that, I'll learn the electric thing, because it's just going to be 100. So we'll finish this. Oh, I just learned it on accident. I lost all of that I'd built. Dadgummit. Oh well. This is more important, and I don't have very many blues, so yeah. All right, well, we'll learn that anyway, because we need them bigger poles, because as you can see, this won't even cover a 16 area. But we'll do what we got to do. We'll go like that, and then we'll go like that. There, now it's covered. Now what you want to do is come into here and make some of these either red or green. Now I like the red because they're a lot brighter. You can see them better. What do I need to make? Some more copper cable. So let's go get some copper cable. Let's get a bunch of copper cable. All right, now we can make a ton of them. So, all right, there. Now, watch this, and this is kind of cool the way this works. Is you grab the red wire, and then you right-click on here, and see how it attaches it? So then you come to this one, and it attaches it. All right, then what you want to do is come down to this, come to this, come to this, and come to this, and you want to do that for every chest. Now, I don't think you have to do this, but I'm wanting to show you how to do a logistic network. I think that if you leave them off of the network, it will just store them with anything that isn't on the same network. So basically, if I don't put anything on a network, everything will come to this. Everything that's in a provider chest. But what I want to do is I want to show how to use a provider chest. Now I could take some of these off by picking this up, then I'd have to put them all down, or pick up the chest and then put the chest back down. And I could take and pick this one up, this one up, this one up, and this one up, and then put them 4 back down. And that gave me back the 4 wire, by the way. And then what I can do is, let's go, we'll make some more of them. What I like to do is this. Where's the, oh, I can't make them, I need copper plates. I need to be able to make about 5 of them. I'll make one of these guys, these big long ones, right? Connect them to this, like so. And then move them up as far as I can. All right, there's one. And of course I'd be making sure that they're in better areas, you know, perfect, the right areas. There's one. And then all these are connected with all these powers to run the others, so that will work. And then what this does is this means that I only have to use a few red lines to run all the way up there to all my storage chests, or where I was dumping everything out. So you take and grab a red, run a red one from this one to this one. And you can run from there to here, but it's already connected if you look. So all of these red go to here, then to here, then to here. And then we're going to run these all the way up to here. And there's one. And then you write.
Research complete.
All right, what else did I want? What was it? Oh, speed. There you go. So then go from here all the way to here. And then from here to here, from here, come on, baby, I know you'll connect. There you go. From here to here, from here to here, and then from here to here, and from here to here, and from here to there. So I'm cutting in here to change this because I actually misstated. You see me connecting the wires to the chest. You actually don't necessarily need to or want to do that. When you connect one of these logistic wires to a chest, the only thing that it does is it includes the storage of that chest into your logistics network. So basically anything that's in any of them chests will be considered part of my logistic network. So whenever I use one of my operationals later in the smart inserters, which is coming up here in just a few minutes, you will see that I set a couple operands to say if such and such is less than a certain amount. Tying into chests, these red lines, all that it does is increase that amount. In other words, it uses the contents of that chest inside that network. It does not control where things go. It does not change anything else. So if I was using the green wires on a couple chests and then had the green lines run out to a green storage, all it would do is include the contents of those chests into the algorithms used or the operands used to calculate how much a green network has. It would not make robots take things to a chest or storage that had green wires. Notice that it shows the yellow when you pick up the provider chest to let you know that you are inside your network, or I mean you're inside your roboport range. So we can put one there, and there, and there, and there, and there, and there. And I'm going way overboard with this because this is just, you know, crazy. But what I can do is I can go, hang on a second, let's put them back. And you'll see why I'm doing that. I want to put them back first before they start carrying all this junk. That one I need. Uh-oh. Oh, good golly. Okay, well, we'll have to pick them all up. But that, why am I doing it with these? Dude, go me. That's what I had them in, ain't it? Thing sure is. So why is it giving me all that trouble? Why is it spitting them out on the ground? Oh no, I had them in these. Duh. I just got lucky with the other ones because they didn't have much in them. All right, let's pick all this junk up. This ain't the first time you've seen me have to do this. And my inventory's full. Oh, good gosh. I couldn't even drop anything because my inventory was so full. All right, where's the belts? Oh, wait, I needed to pick them up anyway. Here, we'll throw some stuff in one of them. There we go. And then we'll pick the rest of them up so I can replace stuff. All right, let's put them back how they go, right? 1, 2, 3, oops, 4. And green. Temporarily. There we go. All right, so let's pick all this junk up. I'm glad it won't let it put it where something else is. Just go like that. Go down. Like so. Oh, well, them were already there, so. I really need to bind that to another key other than F because it's really hard to walk with WASD and be mashing F. It just is. All right, that's all that. Let's pick the rest of them up and clean up our little place here because we're so messy. Living like a pig.
Research complete.
All right, I need purple for the others, so let's go with that. I really need to get this logistics system going right. And we ain't got a lot of time, about 12 minutes or so. I want to get it finished. That way you guys understand what's going on. I mean, granted, I'm sure you already understand the majority of it now. But, let's go in here. We'll put them in there. No, we can't. All right, so now here's what I was doing. Here's where the problem is. What you have to do is you have to use some of these green inserters. Because these are for the ends of these caps. How I've got these coming up, right? What will happen with these blue inserters is they'll forever be putting them into them chests. Now, I've had to turn them sideways, but they would forever be putting them into that chest. So, here's the issue. They're forever putting them into them chests, and I've screwed up. I already see that I've screwed up. Notice how I've put the wires on these? They're not supposed to go to the chest. They're supposed to go to the inserters, which we'll fix. But here's what I'm getting at. These guys will forever, the blue ones will forever just keep dumping them into the chest if you've got them pointing the right way. So if I turn this guy around, he's going to forever just sit there and keep spitting it in the chest till the chest is full. Well, the problem with that is that if when I make this a provider chest, it's never going to get full because robots will come and they'll empty it. They'll keep it empty. So what you have to do is you have to now tie your storage network in to the logistic system. And how you do that is by doing this. Now let's pick up this telephone pole, which we didn't even need. We're just going to pick them all up and then put them back. All right, there we go. And we need one there. We'll just keep doing it like this all the way down. That way all of our inserters get tapped. And there. So all the inserters are good. Everything's tied in. So what we need to do is you need to then go to these smart inserters. And you turn the smart inserter and you put it up. And then what you need to do with this smart inserter is you right click on it and you tell it red wire connection, green wire connection, not connected. Right? So you come up here and you tie into your line again because we need to tie it back into all these guys. And there we go. So we're going to go from each one to each one and get them all connected. And yeah, sometimes it don't show up, but if you click on the bottom, it will get you tied in. That's all you need. We just need to come to length. And you'll see why here in just a second. This is where this gets cool. I can now go with that red wire, and I'm going to put it down here again. Let's put one of them there, put one there, we'll put one there. There we go. All right, so now you can come with this red wire off of the same pole and you can connect it to the smart inserter. All right, there we go. Let's turn it sideways. Right click on it and it'll show you the connection that's connected. You can now set an if and or type thing like you would in programming. You can tell it, all right, this one's doing this copper wire. So you go to copper wire. In storage, in the red wire connection, if there is, now this, if you hooked it to a chest, it counts that chest, whatever's in that chest. And you tell it less than 100. Nah, let's do, you can figure it out. We'll do 500 for right now. Less than 500, go. And if there is less than 500 of them stored, which there's way more, but let's turn it this way and I'll show you. 256 plus 256 is what, 512? Yeah. So let's go down and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Come over here to the storage and it makes all of this a network. So if I put all of these in there, which it's 256 and 256, we'll put 61 back. And then we need, what, 250? There, we'll just do it like that. Now I don't have to add 500. So now there's 500 of them in that chest. And the robots ain't going to mess with them because they're in storage. So that's fine. Nothing needs them. I have no requester chests linked to it. So they'll just sit there for right now. Now, if there's less than 500 in that chest, according to this, and we'll actually put it to 400 just for giggles. If there's less than 400, it'll do that. But if you take and you turn this around, less than, what I used to be able to set it to greater than, less than, red wire is less than, all right, 1 on the red network. Now the red network's connected. So okay, yeah, we're running into a problem here. Let's figure out what it is. There used to be a greater than. I don't know why. I don't know what the dot means anymore. If it's red wire, if copper is less than 400, less than 800, it doesn't matter. It's still doing its thing. There used to be a greater than. I'd swear it was greater than. All right, well, something's wrong with it. I'll figure it out. I'll be right back. I'll go ahead and pause it until I figure it out because I don't want you just sitting here staring at this. So let's figure it out and then I'll be right back. All right, we're back. And I'll tell you right now why it was messed up. I figured it out. Remember I left this side undone so that I could check it with the others? That's why I ended up putting all that copper in this first one, which was not connected to the red network. Now it's connected to the red network. And these guys are moving all that stuff. So now with it connected to the red network, if I turn this bad boy around, which he was set now at less than 1,000. There we go. Now he stops. He doesn't do anything. Why? Because I got 6,000 of them down there. So he won't keep loading them into this requester chest, into these chests, because there's nothing else for him to do. You know, it's got that red network. It connects to a chest that meets this operand, that meets this criteria that I've set. So like you would go to this guy and you would say, all right, well, let's pick you up. Let's put a green inserter down there. And I'm going to have him facing the wrong way to start. We'll run a red wire to him. And then set this guy up for copper plates. Copper plates. See, there it is. Right there, it's greater than. Why couldn't I do it on the others? Greater, less than, equal. Greater, greater than, or I mean less than 1,000. Now what that does is that tells it, all right, if my storage is less, if this line connects to all the chests and everything that it's connected to, if it has less than 1,000 of this item, start working. If it does not have less than 1,000 of this item, don't work. So what we can do is we can take and we could set it all up to where it would keep going, and right now it's going to be freaky because it doesn't have a provider chest, or it's not a provider chest, but I can make that a provider chest. Now these guys, they'll come over and they'll start grabbing this stuff. And I need to make a bunch more robots because you need hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these robots to work in this big of an area. But that's generally the basic, idea of what's going on. Now this guy, these robots are these copper plates. There's more than 1,000 here, so they'll end up moving all of these, and they'll move all of these. And I'm researching their cargo size now, and then I'll do it again. They'll be able to carry 3 or 4 each, and they will pick it up. It will catch up. I'll end up getting it all caught up. These robots will just be going crazy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn all of these into provider chests, or these red chests. And the reason you do that one already is one, is so that the robots know, okay, come get all this stuff and take it to storage. Because if it's in the green smart chest, the wooden chest, or anything else, it'll just sit there. Because they're not allowed to use those chests. They're only allowed to use the provider chests, the storage chests, and the requester chests. So there we go. That's what that issue was. So we can take and pick up all of these guys and replace them all with smart. Oops, I just picked up a robot. You get on back down there and go to business. And you can lay them down on the ground. You don't have to put them in a thing. They will automatically go to the nearest roboport and dock if they have nothing to do, which is really cool also. And I don't want any of these guys loading up yet. I want everything to get moved first, which is going to take a while, probably about an hour. So I'm just going to tie them all in like this and like this, and make sure you tie in the inserters and not the not the chests like I did. And you just right click on the pole and then right click on the inserter, and it connects the wire. All right, there we go. We got all of these connected into the red network. So once all of these get out or get done with emptying all this, now you got to go in. This kind of sucks because you have to manually set up all of these. Less than 1,000. All right, that's enough. And you have to go in to do all of these. Like this one, I need the green. Less than 1,000.
Research complete.
All right, T. We're just going to keep going with the logistic stuff if I can, which I can't. You can only get to 2. Now I need the alien science packs, which is the, in fact, I'm getting to where I'm about needing that. All right, let's go with that for right now. Let's see, did we do this one? No. And you got to make sure you do all of these. If you miss one, it could take you hours to figure out that you missed one. All right, and this one we need these guys, less than 1,000. Now the purpose behind everything that I'm doing here, why I'm doing this, is because I'm going to tell you now, you will soon find this out if you haven't already, that running all of your equipment at one time, all right, these will do less than 500 because not going to need very many yellows. And this one will do blues, less than 500. And then the greens, is that you will find out that with everything that you've got, less than 500, somehow we didn't get power to this guy. If you, I'm sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. If you have all of your stuff trying to run, in other words, if you turn all these guys on to unload off these things, all of your machines are going to start making stuff at one time because nothing's going to be backed up. Everything's going to start producing, and when everything starts producing, you're going to start running out of materials, and everything's going to slow down and whatnot. Now, you're trying not to do that, but that's what happens. And that's what the end thing. That's really what happens. So it's not that great to have happen. You don't want that. So what you do here is you've set it up like this, and you've set it up to where, okay, I only want you to start picking up off the line if my storage has less than 1,000, or for the inserters less than 500. You can go over to the steel, and you can set the steel at 2,000, 5,000. You can set it at whatever you want, up to a certain point. I'm not sure what the max is, but anyhow, you tell it, okay, I only want you to start taking it off the line if I have less than this amount in my storage. And that'll let your lines back up. And then machines will stop running. The ones that are in the lines, as long as you're not using stuff, it's okay. And it basically, instead of just having it lined up like this, it lets you keep a backup, a backlog. Now, what I will end up doing probably eventually, or what you could do, is I could take all of these lines out. Get rid of all this crap now, because these guys are moving pretty quick. They're not moving super fast, but they can carry 4 or 5 items at a time. So I think right now it's like 3 or 4. I can't really tell, but I could check it with myself. Actually, I could go like this. I can go bring me a blue. No, I've already got blue inserters on me. What don't I have? What that's tied into that I don't have? Let's look right here. Let's see, bring me a, well, we got to find something we ain't got. Bring me a, what do I want? Do I need some, I got gears. I need something I don't have. All right, let's go up here. Let's do this. No, I meant to do that, and it's full. It's full. 62. We'll look and see, because something's going to come up 60. So right now they're carrying 2 at a time. That right there answered my question. Right now they can carry 2 at a time. On the next one, when I get some purples, they'll be able to carry 3 at a time, then 4 at a time, and you can just keep researching, I think all the way up to 4 or 5. So yeah, that's logistics. That's how it works. I made it extended and longer and complicated a little bit in places, but the basics is that you tie the network together with the red lines or the green lines or no lines, and then you, in order to use the smart inserters on the network though, you have to have it tied into either red or green. They have to be tied in, because like you saw when I looked at this one, it said green wire not connected, red wire not connected. And then it had, there's no way to put an if and or greater than less than or one of these things, one of these in there, these conditionals. There's no way to put a conditional in there unless you tie it to a line. So you tie them all to a line. I tied them all to red. And then you can set the conditionals for each line, and then you're good. Now what I will eventually do, like I said, or was getting at saying, is that I will end up pulling all of this, get rid of all these lines, and put all of these right out in front of the, right out in front of these. So basically I'll have a provider chest there, there, or actually to be there, but I'll have a provider chest there, 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 and there. And then I'll turn these into smart inserters, because I won't need any of this other crap, because then I can put a requester chest right here, right here, right here, and right here requesting iron. I mean, these are things you could do. And then you would have a smart inserter, or just an inserter, put an iron in here from the requester chest. Robots would be running iron to your requester chests. And then when you produce output items, these blue things, they would go onto into a requester chest. And I mean, not a requester chest, but into a provider chest. And then your robots would come and get those blue things and go put them in storage, or they would come get them and then take them and put them into another requester chest, which I'd have a requester chest right here requesting the blue items, the blue ones. But I mean, that's just a way that you could get rid of all your belts. Me personally, I kind of like the belts, and they let you know, all right, I've got a bunch of those, I got a bunch of those, I got a bunch of those, so yeah. I mean, but you could go efficient and get rid of all this, and you'd have all that extra space to build and do stuff with, and you wouldn't have to worry about all them belts. It's kind of like advancing through your belt systems. You go from yellow to red to green, or the bluish whatever, baby blue or bright blue. And then, in speed-wise, you could then eventually move from belts altogether into robots and have the robots doing it. Which I will from now on. I'm telling you now. Anything that I go to start building now, any factories that we start building from now on, I will be using robots and logistic systems. So you'll see that coming up when we start building more factories. Because we do need to build some more factories, because we need to start building factories to produce these guys, because we need those guys to produce these guys, and then we need these guys to produce the defender capsules, or the defender cap, or the one that gives you the robots, the fighters. So we'll need these to produce them. So I'm going to have to set up a factory to make them, a factory to make them, and then a factory to make the others. While we're off camera, I'm going to make an energy shield or a couple energy shields. I'm going to make a couple of these batteries and one of these portable fusion reactors. And I'll probably do a basic exoskeleton equipment thing too. What this does is lets you walk a little faster. Now we're running over time. I know I'm probably a handful of minutes over, but I'm going to do that off camera. That way the next episode we can head over here and start killing some stuff and try and get some of the purple things so that we can research some of the purple stuff that we need so badly. Preferably the Power Armor Mark II, but more importantly, before that is the Combat Robotics Level 3, because we need those destroyer capsules. Those things make fighting so much easier. I mean, you'll see, but we'll do it all. We'll get onto it. And sorry this episode ran a little bit long. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little bit at least. The logistics was kind of confusing, but hopefully if you watch it a couple times, you'll figure it all out. Fast forward through the ramble. And if you did, please like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next episode. Have a great day.